welcome to Dubstack Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. In the hallway, we mentioned immediately with Festus postgame, this was a better game for the Warriors. They do not have the W to show for it. There were fewer Laker free throws. The Warriors had more assists. They didn't live and die by the three. Came down to the final seconds of the game, Monte. A big storyline coming in was composure. How do you think they did in this game?
For the most part, they did pretty good. They limited their fouling to a pretty good degree. They didn't have a bunch of technicals and flagrants floating around, so that part they did okay. And I think, this is a chance, they had a chance to win this game. They were up in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And it's hard to conceive of the fact that you were beaten by a guy who was scoreless through the first three quarters.
Lonnie Walker.
Yeah. Lonnie Walker got 15 points in the fourth quarter on 6 of 9 shooting. And honestly, I kept, as he was making shots, I'm thinking, okay, at some point, Gary Payton II is going to come back into the game and, do what he did to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell had 4 points tonight.
Mm-hmm. GP2 got the start on him.
Yeah, and so, but it didn't happen. And I asked Steve about it, and he said, no, it wasn't a thought. And I guess it was the offensive thing. They wanted to use Moses, they thought would give him more on offense. And Moses made a couple shots, I guess. But Gary had 15 points. So it wasn't like Gary was a zero out there. So I think if you're going to pick at something as to why they lost this game, and you're going to isolate the fourth quarter, that's where I begin. It's like, you have a guy on the bench in Gary who's pretty good at stifling. And I know they want to put him in pick and roll and try and get him off of the hot guy. I get that. But I think Gary's physical enough to fight through that. So I just would have thought that would have given him a chance to see if that would slow Lonnie Walker the fourth. And he only played 2 minutes and 11 seconds in the fourth quarter. And Lonnie Walker, kind of sent the Warriors home with a 3-1 deficit.
Yeah, one of the other reporters asked Gary, were you okay? You went to the locker room a couple times in this game, and of course Gary's like, yeah, I'm fine. So Gary's indicating there wasn't an injury at the end of the game that held him out. So just a frustrating loss for the Warriors that puts them at 3-1 in this series. They're in a deficit. If they want to win this series, they obviously need to win the next 3. All right, so Steph Curry, a triple-double in this game, and Steph sat down on the podium. Let's take a listen.
You've been down 3-1 a couple times, but does it all feel similar to this? Do you use that, or is this kind of a unique situation to be down 3-1 right now?
You definitely use it as confidence that we can, figure this out. Obviously, just focus on winning Game 5 and take it from there. You can't fast forward to the end, but we have a lot of confidence in our ability to take the good things from tonight and protect our home court. So that's all you can do right now. Got to maintain positivity, and how tough this was tonight, but long way to go.
Steph, where do you feel like the game turned tonight?
You said what?
Where do you feel like the game turned tonight?
I mean, Lonnie hit some big shots for him when they were kind of searching a little bit. We had good looks that didn't go in, and we fought down all the way to the last second in terms of trying to give ourselves a chance to steal a win. And they fourth quarter, we only scored 17 points, and that's a tough way to finish. Had to look at, I always say you got to look at the film to see exactly where, defensively they made adjustments. But, we had a lot of good looks that, we have a lot of confidence in the shots we're taking, and got to live with it.
Steph, obviously you've had many, rough shooter nights here against the Lakers. How did the shots feel, though? You felt like every other part of your game was in good rhythm. Did the three-point shot feel like it was in rhythm, too?
For sure. Like I said, I got a lot of confidence in my ability to knock down shots, especially volume. And a lot of them were back rim, which for me means you got good legs, good lift. Just didn't go down. Obviously, we ran on a lot of pick and rolls, so I had the ball in my hands a lot, which I'm very comfortable with those looks. Just trying to make reads, whether it's a shot for me or trying to create. But I'm rocking with him.
The last, I guess, session, the 2 shots you had against AD, what were the looks you were trying to go for, and did you think the 3 was good when it left your hands?
Absolutely. The first one was, they switched, and you kind of can see the second layer of defense, obviously knowing he's 7 foot and got, crazy, reach. So you just want to create a little bit of separation. The first one, nice little step back. It was in and out. It felt good. Second one was a little rush, but the shot that obviously I took it because I thought I could make it. So, like I said, I'm living with those, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a position where in Game 5 we can control momentum as much as possible down the stretch. And again, if those shots are there, you're going to take them again.
Steph, I don't know if those scratches on your face are new, but can you talk about the level of physicality that you were being defended with in that fourth quarter?
It's on both ends, and it's exactly how playoff basketball is supposed to be. They were trying to bring me in a lot of pick and rolls, especially with Bron. And then on the other end, just trying to send one body to you, and then on the second layer of defense, having somebody, waiting in the paint kind of vibe. But it's playoff basketball. It's what you love. It's what you live for. And, that level of intensity there's nothing like it. So you embrace it all, even the scratches.
Steph, the jump ball, you go up and get it. You go to the ground. Were you thinking anywhere timeout there, or did you think the clock was running out? Just give me your thought process there.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long much time it went off. I was in the air coming down, how long I was on the ground. Actually, I felt like somebody was behind me and kind of just let it go, but bang, bang play. I wish I had a little bit more awareness to maybe call a timeout knowing we had enough time, but it just didn't go our way.
Jordan Poole is obviously a really big part of last year's title run, and this postseason he's kind of just struggled with consistency and stuff. I mean, what you guys need him to be successful. So, like, what are you seeing from him, and maybe what's your message to him?
We get questions about him a lot, and it's our whole team. We're all together in the sense of trying to figure out how to win playoff games, and we all have to make adjustments. We all have to play better, considering we're in a 3-1 hole. So there's no sense of isolating him in this situation. It's all about collectively what can we all do to be better. And the conversations we have in film sessions and on the bench in the locker room are all consistent throughout the season, especially in this playoff run of trying to answer that question. So he's a part of that. We're all a part of that. And if we're going to get out of this hole, we all have to play better.
Hey, Steph, Draymond's got a player option for next season. Bob Myers' contract status is up in the air. Do you allow yourself to think about the big picture? No. Just a 3-1 series deficit?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
That's the last question that we got to get out of here.
Steph, just wanted to ask you about Gary and what he was able, your thoughts of him going into the starting lineup and what was he able to bring?
He gave us a lot. I mean, to go from kind of out of the rotation to starting to, playing 23 minutes. We obviously got a little smaller, but we got faster, so he was able to give us some good looks in pick and roll. Obviously, defensively, we know what he can do, and offensively, slashing, cutting, making plays, finishing at the rim. Made a huge 3 in the second half, so it's a testament to how roles can change really quickly with our team, and just trying to stay ready, be ready for your moment. And he's gone through that with us last year, and now that he's been back, being able to understand where he can make an impact. So it's been huge, and it's a testament for everybody on our team, to stay ready. We say it a lot, and it continues to prove itself. So it's the challenge and the opportunity with how we do things.
All right, we got to run.
I mean, I think it's halftime. It was very clear that this was going to be a Steph Curry game. 17, 7, and 7 at the half, and then he finished with the triple-double, 31, 10, and 14. I wish we were talking about Steph Curry's game in this one. I wish we were talking about his 14 assists, finding, doing even better than the dozen assists that he got in the other win, the only win in this series for the Warriors. Instead, maybe we talk about the end of the game, sort of the fumble.
There's a number of things, and this is a series where, the Warriors have 4 guys that they lean on for scoring. It's Steph and Curry, it's Klay Thompson, it's Andrew Wiggins, and it's Jordan Poole. And Steph came up with 31 points tonight, but he took 30 shots. That's what it took to get to 31. But Andrew and Klay and Jordan combined for 26. Any one of those 3 guys can get that on a given night. That's what they had all together. That is not going to get it done against this team. And if that doesn't change in Game 5, the Warriors will be into the offseason. So somebody has to step up among those 3 guys, and maybe 2 of them can. 3. All of them are capable, but doing it is not the same. Being capable is not the same as doing it. And if they don't do it, this is going to be a very, this season might last only 2 more days. So I look at what Steph is doing, and I don't know if he's trying to do as much as more than he normally might because those guys are not producing right now, or if he just feels like it's necessary for him to do that. But when I look at that, I mean, Klay, I know how badly he wanted to play well in these 2 games down here.
Klay, yeah.
And in game 3, he had the 6 turnovers, career high. And tonight, he's 3 of 11 with 9 points. He didn't want that. He's going to hate that, but it's what he got. So, and Jordan was scoreless. So bad that Steve Kerr said it wasn't his night, so he only played him 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
And Wiggins had 17, and he did okay. I mean, he did some good things, but those guys need to give this team more offense for this thing to work.
Okay. We do need to talk about Jordan Poole. He did speak in the locker room. It was a little bit tense. I'll paint a picture of what that was like. And then we do need to have a conversation about what Jordan and the role players in this game. And the Lakers role player really coming through in that 4th quarter. That's next on Dubstack Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. Music maestro.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. Fit Aid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey guys, we are up on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. There are a lot of feelings in this chat right now. One person is saying, keep the faith, Dubs in 7. It is still possible, though it just got extremely difficult with the Warriors down 3-1 in this series, although they are moving back to Chase Center. And here's how Steve Kerr put it, and I really don't think he was going for the one game at a time cliche in his mind, but the Warriors really have to narrow their focus. One team has to win 4 games, okay? The next game is at home at Chase Center, where the Warriors have played very well, and they just want to keep their view small. Game 5. Then think about Game 6. Then think about Game 7. You can't think about the series at large, the hole that they're in.
No, you can't. But in fact, let's face it, after Game 3, their focus was narrowed to Game 4. And they did some good work in Game 4. And this is a game that they very clearly could have won.
Yeah.
But like so many road games, they didn't keep the lead. They had a lead and they couldn't keep it. And we've seen this happen before, countless time of the regular season. I know it's different now, and they won 2 road games in Sacramento. I understand that, but they lost 2 road games here, the first 2 road games here, and one of them was the one they could have won. They got blown out in Game 3. But this is a game that's going to sting because they know they could have had it.
Yeah. I was looking at Game 2 for Steph, 12 assists in that one, 7 of 12 with 20 points. So yesterday at practice, you could kind of hear that. I don't know. I don't think Steph gave another speech or anything like that, but you could tell his mindset was right coming into this game to see if the Warriors could win, and he played like it. But he needs a little bit more support.
Yeah, I think in the 4th quarter he pressed a little bit, but again, like I said, I think that maybe because he felt like if it's not me, who's going to do it? Yeah. Because nobody else really got much going. And so, you look at GP2.
everybody, we're back on Dubstack Live, brought to you by FitAid. All right, when it comes to the role players, Lonnie Walker IV had all of his points in the fourth quarter, 15 points, had what became the go-ahead free throws. The Warriors could never recover in that one. I saw something about, during his press conference, supposedly it was very inspirational. He has been a lot in his career. You can seek that out if you want. For the Warriors, let's talk about Poole, Dante, Moses very quickly. Moses Moody, 19 minutes, 3 of 3, 1 of 1. He's sort of the preferred guy off the bench right now. Dante tied his postseason high in scoring with 10, but unfortunately, things for Jordan Poole are standing out right now. He had no points, only played 10 minutes, 0 for 4, 0 for 2, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. Now, I did hear something in Steph's comments because he says, we keep getting these questions about Jordan. I think the team knows that he's struggling, but Steph indicated we win and lose as a team. So they're trying to take some of the heat off Jordan. There was some heat on Jordan in the locker room. He agreed to talk to reporters. Thank you. That's great. But how many times you could tell that he was very frustrated that he was getting questions about his shots, getting questions about his reduced role. Some of the things that he said, if I could pull this over, when it comes to his shot, he's like, I don't know. If I had the answer, I would tell you. He did not want to talk about himself, kept emphasizing we have a game in a few days. And when I say tension, Jordan was listening to some music. He turned it off for us when we were talking. But that visitors' locker room is small.
Yes, cramped.
As soon as the music went off, everybody can hear what you're saying. And even the players are listening into the questions that we're asking, to Jordan's answers. Like Looney was right there, GP2 was right there. There was just like a heightened awareness on that kind of moment. And I asked Jordan, it's like, we know your work ethic. We know you get in the gym. Is that what's happening right now as you try to figure this out? And he said, my work ethic doesn't change. My routine doesn't change. Maybe opportunity changes, but you can only control what you can control. So Jordan trying not to show his frustration, but it was coming through a little bit. I don't know. What do you do with Poole in this series as his minutes are reducing? Because he's a player that the Warriors need to produce.
Yeah, especially if Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins aren't going to give him what they usually give him. So, if I'm listening to Jordan's word, though, it sounds like it's a chicken and egg thing. Okay, he's not playing enough to be good, but when he plays, he's not good. And so what do? I mean, do you keep putting a guy out there who's not good? I say you try him every game. They tried him again tonight. He wasn't good. And so at some point, if you're a coach in a postseason series, you've got to pull back and say, okay, we need somebody who's going to give us what we need. If it's not you, I got to try the next guy. And if you're mad about that, I'm sorry, but you've got to try the next guy because he's not doing it right now. The guy he's shooting 28% from three. And so Dante wasn't much better. Tonight, Dante was better. He made some shots.
4 of 6.
Yeah, and so that's
10.
great for him. So, but Jordan, he's one of those guys that if his offense is working, he is helping you. If his offense isn't working, he's not doing much else for you. Whereas guys like Moody and GP2, Dante, they're giving you other stuff. They're rebounding, they're deflecting passes, they're getting stops, they're doing other stuff for you. So, I understand Jordan's frustration, but his recovery begins with him being productive, and until that happens, it's going to be hard for him to climb out of that hole. You can't give him 30 minutes right now because he's not deserving of it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, though, that for each game, Steve Kerr has to go with him because at any time Jordan can get hot.
Yes.
He just hasn't been in this series. Okay, a couple
Try him every game.
Yeah, so Moses Moody now looking like the preferred guy off the bench. I said 19 minutes for Moses, is that correct?
Yep.
There was something that stood out to me. I texted the producer immediately. I think it was in the second quarter. We got to roll the tape here. We need to see this video because Moses, a few times, ended up matching up with LeBron James. There's Moody pump faking LeBron James.
The GOAT.
Look at this again. What did you think of that?
It's a smart move.
Oh.
Pump faking is one of the most underrated moves in basketball. And a lot of guys just don't do it. And Moses is kind of old school guy who would do that. You see Looney doing it a lot.
Yeah.
He does a lot of pump faking. But a lot of guys just want to, go into the traffic and try and get a shot up. And sometimes that's not the smart play.
Sure.
Moody did the smart thing and he got the bucket out of it. So I think Moses is earning the minutes he's getting right now. He's playing good defense. He's giving you a little something on offense, and that's how you keep minutes in a postseason series.
You have to go with the guy who's giving you stuff. It's Moses
You
Moody.
do.
And Jordan Poole has the experience, won a championship. We know Moody did too. But Poole played such a large role at the end of last season and into the postseason when you know what he's capable of to see this kind of postseason. It's really disappointing.
Well, it's almost painful, and what he's been through this year. We understand that it's been a tough year for him since before the season even started. But he's had so many games where you thought, okay, he looks like Jordan now.
Yeah.
He looks good now, and actually, he wasn't so bad in, I think it was game 1.
Okay.
He was pretty good in game 1. Everybody focused on the shot that he missed at the very end of the game, but he had made 6 of 10 from 3 before that shot.
Yeah.
So he had a pretty good game, and even that last shot, you can question it, I understand that, but overall, he had a solid game. And then game 2 and 3 and 4, it's gone again. And so most of this season, it's been spurts. It's been 3 or 4 or 5 game spurts where he's good, then bad, good, then bad. But in the postseason, it's been more like 1 game good, 2 games, 3 games bad, 1 game, and that's tough to deal with when you're trying. The only way you can advance is to keep winning.
Yeah, teammates defended him in that game 1. They liked the shots, as you mentioned. He hits 6 3-pointers. That
Absolutely.
was the game where Poole, Clay, and Steph each had 6 3-pointers, and it resulted in a Warriors loss. Okay, the show has taken a different roadmap than we thought, but we wanted to make sure that we touched on GP2 in the starting role. His burst in the third quarter, layup, alley-oop, 3-pointer. By the way, all were assists from Steph Curry.
Yes.
But he played a really important role, notably on defense, because he had the task of quieting D'Angelo Russell. How'd he do?
D'Angelo Russell had 4 points.
That's pretty quiet, Monte.
On 1 of 10 shooting. 1 of 10 shooting, it's hard to do any better than that.
Yep.
When a guy shoots 10% and scores 4 points, you've done your job.
Yep.
Especially when he was the guy who scored their first 11 points in the previous game.
Yeah.
So Gary did what he was asked to do. I just don't understand why he wasn't asked to do it in the fourth quarter when Lonnie Walker started going off. And Steve's answer was not, for me, satisfactory. It wasn't,
That was a question of why you didn't go in the fourth quarter?
What did you think about that? And he basically said that, he wanted to go with Moses because Moses was two-way, giving them a two-way threat. I just thought that you needed a silencer. Mm-hmm. Do you have a better one than GP2? I don't think so.
The whole reason you put him in the starting lineup and then you don't use him in the same way in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
That is a little puzzling.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay. All right, when we come back on Dubstack Live, brought to you by Fit Aid, one of the storylines coming into the game was whether Draymond could have a bounce-back game. We will talk about Draymond's game and the schedule ahead with the Warriors in a 3-1 deficit.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. Fit Aid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Hey guys, sorry. It has been a pretty hectic night here in the arena.
Yeah,
so not just the game, but just a hectic night.
Yeah, I got my snack up there, my
this series
bag,
just
and
got fun.
everything.
Better embrace it all. Solstice, my friends. Your idea of fun is living on the edge.
I know it's Mike is hot, but
John says everybody needs stuff. What did you say?
I love this Lakers stuff.
Oh
I shouldn't say this crypto stuff.
It's always going to be Staples to me. Come on.
Yeah.
We have a lot of GMs in the comments. They're trading people. They're dumping people. They're firing people. Oh, my goodness.
So you can't go down these stairs right here. Oh. Okay.
I just need to take a break.
I'm going to go down the stairs over here.
I need a Snickers,
and go down
y'all.
to the because people have to be working in the media room.
Yeah.
I got so much stuff. You might not be able to carry everything. Yeah.
The mic's red. I mean, whatever. Mic's up to your face. Whatever.
I'm not cussing.
Not right now. We have to leave pretty quickly after the show.
Oh, man.
Hey, if you want the feel-good thing for your Warriors, the Corn did predict games. The Warriors at 7 with them winning the last 3.
Wow.
6 and 7.
You hear that?
There you go. That's your price. The corgi, where he shoots baskets down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
He picked the Warriors at 7, winning games 5, 6, and 7.
The corgi?
Yeah.
The corgi
It's
said
a
the
viral
Warriors.
clip right now.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
my
seen
God.
a clip.
He's
I
didn't
hope
know
that
that.
corgi's right.
4 in this series.
Wow.
And he picked the Warriors to win in 7.
Okay.
The last 3.
Oh.
That's your feel.
That's fine. Alrighty.
Oh, my God.
How much time do we have in this block? All right, we're back on Dubstack Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. It was a quiet game for Draymond in Game 3. I say quiet because it was extremely frustrating. He got in foul trouble early, picked up a technical as well. Just was not his night. And when that happens, Draymond really looks for those bounce-back games because he needs to set the tenor on defense. And he's the guy who's going to have a lot of time seeing if he can guard AD. Andrew Wiggins did his job on Anthony Davis tonight as well. Draymond arrived at 8, 10, and 7. What did you think of Draymond's role in this game?
Uneven. You know, he had some high points, some low points. But I did sense his frustration. But he did not. No, he avoided the technical foul.
Yes, he did. Composure.
Yeah. So he did. And after last game, you know, you wondered if he could do that, but he did. So, but I just think that there were a couple of moments in this game where he maybe tried a little bit too hard. And late in the game, he made a couple of passes that were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" You know. So
he overthrew Steph on one of them, and then he threw to a ghost on the sideline at the other.
Yeah.
That was strange from Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, especially at this point in the season, this point of the game, a game that they really need to have to try and make this an even series. So Draymond will be better. He was really good in the previous game. So. Or 2 games ago, rather. He was excellent 2 games ago.
Yes.
And I think he can get back to that. He got to be upset with himself. Yeah. And I bet he is right now.
The whole team getting on the flight to go back home to Chase Center. And let's see the calendar because we'll take a look at 5, 6, and 7 here. It is starting to alternate, and we know that they're playing every other day. So this does not get easier. If you're the Dubs, what's that flight home like?
Soul searching.
Yeah.
You got to be asking yourself, okay, what can we do? Because obviously they don't want to go home like this. But there are some things that they know they can fix that they did fix between game 3 and 4, and they still lost the game. So, they can add a few wrinkles here and there. But I think for the most part, what they did, if I'm Steve Kerr, I start with the same lineup as I did in this game.
I do too, actually.
But if I see some guy going off in the fourth quarter that's not Anthony Davis, I'm probably in Gary Payton second. Gary TP2 is not on the floor. I'm probably going to say, "Gee, get in the game."
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Try it. No, in a game with runs galore where each team had an answer for another, I'm looking at the box score, only 17 points for the Warriors in that fourth quarter, and they came up 3 points shy. All right, a new podcast coming your way. Talk to you later. All right, we are back on YouTube. Adam is saying, to be honest, we're good. 2 of next 3 games at home and game 6 clay. Hopefully. There are lots of reasons to be hopeful. The Warriors did make improvements in this game, but they're going to tell you no moral victories. They did not get the W. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay.
Mokum is okay.
Okay. All right, sorry, we're following along with some developments here at the arena and what it means as we get ready to do this podcast.
According to Raymond, it says we're can I read this?
No, I mean, no. Let's go. We'll do the podcast. We'll talk to you guys soon.
It's okay to be
All right,
immediate.
bye.
Work well. That's what it says here.